All right, what's up? It's episode 3 of the podcast. I'm joined again today by Josh. Welcome back for
Thank
good.
you. Yeah.
For now, for good. I messaged you, or did I
No,
do it
yeah,
over
you were
the-
texting me.
Yeah. Figured while you're still in Michigan, I'm still in Michigan, might as well just do this together. Got some good feedback. We're now on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by that.
Still aren't on Apple, which I got to figure out why. So, not that big of a deal though. But it's weird to see it on Spotify.
No, I know.
It's like the difference between SoundCloud and Spotify is like super real deal. But we a lot of people liked it. I really like doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so do you want to kick it off for me?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Lead us off.
Okay, so I have a question. How much would I have to pay you for you to stay in your bed for 2 months? This is going somewhere too.
Okay. So I can't move. I get fed. Like, how does that?
Yeah.
thing
Like,
work?
okay, so there's a NASA study where they're trying to get people to do this, and like they have a computer screen above them, and like they have a keyboard.
Really?
You just can't leave your bed. You get fed the whole 9 yards. So how much money?
And you can't sit up. You
No,
can't-
no,
Whoa.
you can't leave the bed.
I don't know. Are you on NASA once you complete it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. How much money would it take for 2 months?
Yeah.
I mean, think about people that like break their legs, or not break their legs, but I'm just saying people that go bed rest for 2 months where they're stuck in a hospital. Being on a computer, being fed probably some crazy food might not be the worst thing in the world.
What's the amount?
For 2 months, I'm trying to think of like even a salary. Maybe like $7,000.
Well, for the study they're paying $19,000.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I know.
That's a lot. I feel like I could accomplish some cool things.
Dude, I was thinking about it, and then I was like, that would actually be horrible. Because, like, even just a day of, like, sitting in your
You can't
bed.
sweat, basically, for 2 months.
I mean,
like,
you
you
might
can't
sweat,
exercise,
just-
is all
well,
I'm
yeah.
kind of getting at.
You can't move.
No.
But it's female only, so we might have to make some changes before we're
Dang
allowed to
it.
do that. But the first thing I saw that, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm out of school in a month.
That is so funny.
Like 19 grand, which
For real, actually.
that's crazy that they pay that much.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what my dollar amount is, but I think it's above 19 grand.
So these are just basically you apply for it, you fill something out, and you try and be on this study.
Yeah, but you have to be a girl, so I guess.
I wonder what they're trying to figure out.
I just barely read the article.
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
something with anti-gravity or like artificial gravity. I don't exactly know.
I know when you're in space, you have to work out so hard because your muscles just basically start decaying because you don't have the force of gravity with your leg muscles, your arm muscles, all those things. Lifting things up don't require the same muscle mass. So your biceps go away, all the legs, everything.
What would I be?
And it was a huge feat when a guy was in space for 1 year, just because he had to work so damn hard to keep that up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd like to tell you something I haven't told you yet.
Shit. Okay.
So today I went to my second interview at a company called Z-Bart, and to fill people in, I applied for a position. This is the national, international headquarters of Z-Bart, which is a car company, so to speak. So they do detailing, interior detailing. They can do tinted windows. They have this
Shit.
all sorts of, basically all these accessories for your car. And their mission statement more or less is, we will do everything we can to create your car however you want it to be. And so maybe you want it to be right when it came off the line, or you want it to be something you couldn't even imagine. And so basically I applied for this video editor position, and I went back this during the week, this weekend and all that. I interviewed on Monday, and then I interviewed today, which is Wednesday, my second interview, and I got a text after my interview today that said, "Hey Josh, boss loved you, this, that, the other. Tomorrow morning, we're going to give you an offer."
Shit.
At 10 a.m.
Whoa.
So I have like 12 hours or so till I
Whoa.
figure that out. It's pretty crazy because this single offer, this opportunity completely changes the navigation of my life.
Yeah, that's do you think it's going to be bigger than the offer I gave you? This is
19,000? No. I don't know. It's really difficult to say. What's pretty intriguing about the company is they give you a really good 401k. They give you health insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, just all this crazy stuff.
What is it? I don't know what a 401k
So,
is.
and I didn't either. I had to ask my mom. So, so the way the 401k works is it's like you're investing for retirement. And so you can take out a percentage of your paycheck. So every month, if you're getting it bi-weekly,
It's just so weird to talk about retirement.
It is.
I was doing the same thing when I started to smile. Keep going, sorry.
So you basically take a percentage out, and that adds up, or you take that out, and then some companies, you put it in this 401k, and then they take your money, they invest it, and typically it has like a 12% increase rate. And so if you're investing $100, you're going to get $12 annually, if that makes sense. And there's no taxes on this 401k. But what's cool about ZBART is the way they have 50% match for your 401k. So for example, if I put $4,000 throughout the year, they'll give me $2,000 on top of that, just no questions asked.
Is that to like incentivize
Investing in your future and stuff like that, and there's more money they can invest in as well. And so so I put 4,000, I get 2,000, so that's 6,000, and then maybe they invest and make like $500 more. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'm putting in 4,000, but I might be getting 6,500. But it's interesting because they still haven't offered me, and I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see what that number is.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, though, like the first part of the 401k, I just kind of blacked out. It's just so like hard for me to understand. Be careful setting that on the table just with the noise. Mm-hmm. And how do you look with the shadow in this camera? Is it pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because there's kind of a shadow on your face. But
okay.
We're working it out.
No, it looks fine.
Also, the noise downstairs is people working out.
Sure.
So I just figured I'd address
the
that.
gains.
But yeah, that's really cool and weird. This is gonna be funny to look back at. That's like, did you see Mr. Coyle commented on our
what did he say?
Our second podcast? Something along the lines of, and this is not like verbatim, just how like we're looking forward and he's kind of looking back, and because we're talking about the beginning of our careers and stuff like that.
Definitely. And
just to be able to look back at these will be really funny. Like we're laughing about the first one. If we just get some shitty job, and it doesn't go well, then it's like, huh.
No, that's a good point. It's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, just kind of it's like I used to call my YouTube channel like a virtual scrapbook, and it's kind of just like bookmarks of your life, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I've loved videos so much. Is sure you can have different, I don't know, notebook entries or photographs that, oh, that's right, this happened. But when you can look back and see a video of, our trip, we went to San Diego and stuff like that.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
And just boom, you watch that video and everything. You remember everything of that trip. Yeah. And that's what I think is so amazing about these videos.
The $100 bottle of wine.
Yeah, that we chugged. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
You know what I always think about from that trip is that Uber drive.
Yeah, that was like when Uber first came out.
Do you remember our first ever Uber ride?
Offered us Fiji waters.
Yeah, I felt like royalty. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this is amazing.
Yeah, that was, and we're like, we don't have to tip him.
Yeah,
we tried to give him money, he gave us it back.
He's like, I'm working on a startup. And then, do you remember the other Uber ride? This is the one that I was more talking of.
Was it the one where you recorded in front of us for like 30 minutes? No, I don't remember the Uber ride.
No, but I do remember that. This is a lady. It was when we couldn't find an Uber, so we had to get an Uber Plus or Uber. What's the like high class one? Uber Plus?
X. No. XL.
Uber Black. It was called Uber Black, and I specifically remember we were going over the Coronado Bridge from San Diego to Coronado, and it was this lady, and we were kind of she was asking us questions like, "What are you doing?" Whatever. And she's like, and we're like, we don't really know. Like, we kind of want to move here, do this. Don't really know what we want to do. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, now's the time. Like, you don't have any mortgage. You don't have kids. You don't have any of these responsibilities other than yourself. And that was like, dang. And now thinking that I'm 4 years later about to be in that summer between, like, college and real life, between then when was high school and college. So
that was our senior year. No, junior year.
Yes, it was. No, senior year. Because I got super sunburnt and had to hug people at my graduation party with like boils on my rib cage. Some of us are fair skinned.
That's funny. And what's really cool, I'm reading the the Navy SEAL book. I just had it in my head and I lost it.
Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins.
David Goggins, sorry. I'm reading the David Goggins book, and he's talking about doing his training in Coronado and stuff like that. And when I told you this before, when I did the run that went around kind of a scenic route of Coronado, and next thing you know, I'm kind of coming around towards the end of my run. It ended up being like 8 or 10 miles or something. And all of a sudden, these guys come swimming out of the water, and there's a truck parked on the side. And it wasn't anything, like, it was pretty intense. But these guys come around under a bridge, and they swim out of the water. They throw off their fins, and they were doing like this crazy swimming technique where they do 3 strokes, and then they do some dolphin movements. And these guys come out of the water, just fly out of the water. They throw their fins in the back of this truck, throw on shoes, and then just took off running. Next thing you know, I'm running with these guys side by side, and I'm telling you, I ran so much faster when I was next to them.
Yeah,
and they were, some of them were talking to me like, "Good job, dude," and "Keep it up, guy," and like it was crazy. I was young compared to the, but I just remember being so, like, just in disbelief. I didn't even really know what was happening. Like, oh my gosh, I think I'm next to some Navy SEALs right now, and then I think I ended up they deviated off and whatever, but. That was crazy. Coronado was a cool place. Really cool place.
That running thing reminds me of something yesterday that happened that I didn't tell you about. So I went on a run, and I usually run kind of like parallel with the river, the road Grand River first, and then like the Red Cedar River. And I crossed paths on the bridge with this little kid who was maybe 5'1", and he was definitely still in high school, and he was hauling. And then he was on the other side of the river, and I was on this side of the river, and we were just going. I could not keep up with him. Dang. And then he looped back around, and like the first time we ran past each other, like just gave a little like head nod, like how's it going? And then the second time I saw him, I'm like, nice job, buddy. Like, you're doing amazing. And he was so small. That's like, he didn't have long strides. He was just flying.
Dang. Was he built or just
No,
like
he was a
dude?
little skinny kid who was like maybe 5'1".
Every time I'm running, I make sure I try and wave at all the runners. Just as like a little community between the two of us.
You know, that's funny because I usually just do the head nod or just like a thumbs up, something like that. But for some reason, one time, I didn't want to go on a run because my knee was hurting. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. And I don't know if I was maybe limping a little bit or something, but I ran past this guy that had a huge knee brace on. And he high-fived me. And I was like, what the heck? And then on that same run, next person I saw saluted me.
Jeez.
And I'm like, I feel like a warrior.
That's wild.
Yeah. But what do you think about that David Goggins book? I forgot that you were reading it.
Yeah. I've taken a little break. I'm reading 1984 right now for book club. But it's really good. And so he just went through 2 hell weeks. And now he's like, his mom saw him graduate and things like that, and I think he's at the point where he's considering like more challenges, something to test him more. And I think it's transitioning towards his running part of his career. So that's where I'm at.
That's cool.
So
what do you think about the challenges?
Good. I really want to do the sticky note challenge. On the mirror.
I have that.
And so to fill people in, this is a challenge that you pick a couple goals. You pick maybe 3 different things, and you talk to yourself in the mirror, and you put these challenges on the mirror that says, maybe it's, I'm going to run 5 miles every day this week. Just something like that. And every time, if you don't do it, you talk shit to yourself in the mirror. You tell yourself, you better do this, all that. But it's just having these different goals that, I mean, you go to your mirror a lot after showering, all that. And so you see these goals almost more often than ever. And it was just, that's one thing. I don't have any sticky notes in my house, and I keep forgetting to get them.
I have a bunch like everywhere. Just remind me to give you some.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
I'm not going to give you these because I really like this color, yellow.
But yeah, that's something I really got to try. I've done is writing ones and different random ones, but they're good. They're cool. It's a very, I don't know, it's a cool part of the book. Yeah,
I like them. They get worse. It's a great idea. The first 6 of them, I was like, this is amazing. And then they just start getting more and more vague. And it was like almost, because they did it with every single chapter. And this person below us is really getting after it, dropping these weights. But they just kind of get worse and worse, and it just kind of bums you out. because the first ones were so good. It was almost like you should have just done the first 6 and then kind of just been done.
Yeah.
Because it'll start to feel forced. But I mean that.
Sure.
All things aside, I really really like that book. It's just such an interesting story because the beginnings are so sad and just
crazy.
Just like came from nothing, came from abusive family, had to run away, moved to a super racist place in Indiana.
For real.
And yeah, just hearing all that, and then just like the working and just quitting his job and the injuries.
Even his depression and his weight gain, weight loss, then gain again. It's just like, whoa.
And that's the crazy part is like you start, like you think, okay, let's say you start at like rock bottom, like he had a really bad childhood. Then you think like, oh, maybe it's just going to be all up, but it wasn't. It was just a roller coaster, which is a good reminder to like everyone that like, hey, you think you're down and out, but you're not.
Exactly.
That's especially what I got from it, because sometimes you're like, dang, like I'm such a screw up or whatever, but then you're like, you can fix it.
So I saw you posted on Instagram something along the lines. Is this camera
still going?
Yes.
Sorry.
Something along the lines of applying for an internship at New York.
Yeah, dude. So update on that. So I went on there. I had originally like reached out on the website because they have like a forum of this was the summer internship in 2018. Here's the positions, apply here. And the average date was like the end of March, beginning of April. So later last year, like probably December of 2018, I emailed this guy and said, hey, I'm really interested in the summer internship program. When is it going to be announced? And he said April 1st. So I put it on my calendar, was all ready. That was in my newsletter, by the way, not my Instagram.
I haven't got to that, sadly.
But
the newsletter. I haven't got to all the links.
Oh no, it's fine. But I was just thinking of when I said that on Instagram.
It was your newsletter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. But I was like, I don't remember saying that. But so April 1st comes around, I'm all excited, and they're like, April Fools. No, they didn't post anything. So I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? So I messaged someone again yesterday, didn't answer. Messaged someone else today. They answered. They said, yeah, it'll be open sometime around the end of April. Stay tuned.
Jeez.
So it's like, late. Dude, how long can I wait?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna weigh my options.
Tell me a little bit about what this is.
Yeah. So do you know what Genius is?
Somewhat.
So they do like music stuff.
Yeah.
They like bring artists in and they like go over the lyrics of their songs. So the first iteration of the company, as far as I understand it, was just lyrics.
Okay.
And then they would have the artists annotate on the lyrics and say like, oh, this is referencing that. But then they also had like a community of people that would also annotate. So like, for example, I could probably become like a verified annotator of like Lil Uzi Vert because I know so much about him. And, like,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, in his music. And there are people that do that. So it's like a forum in that way. Then they just have like normal like forum type stuff. Then they have a really big social media presence.
Gotcha.
Like I said, they have a YouTube channel where they do this really cool thing where I think it's called Behind the Beat or something like that, where they go and talk to the producers of a certain song. And I think I sent you the one with
you showed me that.
Shaq West, where Take a Day Trip.
Yeah.
They like ran the beat one time, and that
how it all happened organically.
Yeah, it was all one take, and then the beat ran off, and that's when he was like, "Fuck, shit, bitch." And then, but yeah, so that I would love to get that internship. I hope I do. I hope I even get to apply for it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. It's still in the works, I guess, which is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't get it, that's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's just, I just have to get an internship to get it behind me.
Yeah.
Because I need one to graduate. Because if I was graduating and I didn't need it, I would not get an internship.
Yeah. No, totally.
I don't really want to be doing that. But it's
how many credits? How long does
it can be anywhere from 1 to 6.
Huh.
So I could do 9 hours a week, which is a lot for 1 credit.
Yeah, that is kind of a lot.
And then you can do up to like 40 or whatever. But
that is
also, if you do more credits, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, so I don't know why you do more.
Yeah, if you needed more credits. But it's just a backwards thing that you have to pay for something. And especially if it's unpaid, then you're paying for the credits but not getting paid. And you know about
That's
that.
That's what I have.
Yeah. I don't have to tell you that twice. But that I will say from that Charlemagne book, that was an interesting perspective.
Sure.
And,
yeah.
And do you want to
Go
tell
ahead.
people?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So we read, it's hashtag Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God. Also another really good book, also a book club book. But he talked about how unpaid internships can also be a really good thing, which I agree with, which he changed my mind on, because before I was like, unpaid internships are so stupid, you should never do them. Like, that's just, why would you ever do that? But what he talked about is like, value is not only come in the form of like capital of money, because you can get these certain connections and learn these certain skills that you won't get at a different one. But if you have some just shitty internship that's unpaid, then it's like, okay, that is not really worth it. But it, for example, I would take this Genius internship unpaid, even though it is paid. Mm-hmm. So,
and I heard something recently just talking about, I think I don't know where exactly I heard it, but it was just basically saying you got to find something you want to do so badly that you're willing to do it for free. So look at a job like, hey, you know what? Maybe this video editor position, I would do this for like 10 grand a year or 15 grand. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is you would do these jobs, these hobbies, whatever that might be. Look at the way your work is and say, you know what? No matter what, I would do this even if they didn't pay me. Yeah. And that's kind of a good way, and this person was talking about, it's a great way just to look at working and look at your working life. Mm-hmm. Oh, I liked it. It made me like, huh. Because truly, in this video editor position, I feel like I'm gonna take a lot away. I'm gonna learn so much from just being able to be around all these creative people. And even in my interview, they were like, so what's so important to you about being a part of a team? Mm-hmm. And one of the things I kept saying over and over was just the simple fact of, it's so exciting to be around all these different creative people.
Yeah.
To be in a room where every day we're trying to think of the latest and greatest campaign, video, idea, and just being forced to create and forced to really think on our feet and ahead of the curve. I just think it's so exciting to be in a team and having all those brains sort of become one brain.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that kind of brings me to, I'm going to swerve a little bit off topic, but Please. in the same vein of the whole team thing, because it's fun to do this podcast by myself, but it was so much more fun to do it with you. And I think we have more fun before and after we actually start recording the podcast, just messing around.
Absolutely.
And like when we were editing, like
we could not stop laughing.
Like that's the hardest I've laughed in a while.
Agreed.
And it's fun to like work on something with people, especially when it's like a friend, because I've had some experiences. And I'm having an experience where I'm working with a group of people, and they're nice people, but it's like we don't really see eye to eye on a lot of things, and it's not really a project I want to be working on. So then it's a little bit different. In that case, I would much rather be working by myself. But when I feel like we see pretty eye to eye during these conversations. Like it's not difficult, and
we understand what we're saying.
Yeah, and we're having fun with it. Like I said, we're doing this for free. I'm not paying you.
What?
Yeah, this is your unpaid internship for no credit.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Group project, and I wanted to say, are you getting a little bit of senioritis?
Dude, I had a phone conversation with my mom today, and it's not even like I just don't care about school at all. And like it's no secret that first of all I didn't want to come here in the first place, and every year
here as in come to college.
Yes, go to college, period. And the interest waxes and wanes. Some days I'm like, you know what, this is pretty cool, and some days I'm like, why am I here? But with that being said, like the whole environment of being living with a bunch of my best friends and stuff like that, wouldn't trade that for anything. But when I want to work on something like this podcast, and then I have this class stuff, then I'm like, wow, this really does not matter. Yeah. It's just so tough, and I have so much of that stuff going on right now, and I'm like sort of kind of failing a class or two.
Dang.
But it's just overwhelming because I want to be working on these things, and I can't. And I was actually thinking of this today because I had a feeling some question like this was coming. Mm-hmm. And I feel on one hand, like with the podcast and like I'm ramping up to start uploading again on YouTube and stuff like that, I feel like my right foot is just slamming on the gas, like let's go. And then because of school and like this other stuff, my left foot is just slamming on the brake,
I like
and I'm
that
just
analogy.
like smoking the tires because I really, really want to like put everything into my videos. Like I've been really, I have like all these folders of the like doing this video, then this video leads to this. And I mean, obviously that doesn't mean anything just saying that.
Yeah.
I would like to actually follow through on that, but I can't right now, like as much as I want to. And I want to enjoy the college lifestyle.
I think that's very important.
And did I talk to you about Sunday?
I don't believe so.
So that's when Michigan State won.
What you did?
Yeah.
Kind of. I think you just texted me.
Okay,
What
so
was happening?
yeah, did I work on Sunday at all? I don't think I did. So I originally was going to go watch it at the bar, and I got there. David left 30 minutes before me.
And so this is Michigan State
Versus
playing Duke
Yes,
in the
on
Elite
Sunday. And
Eight.
yeah, thanks. For all of our fans living under rocks. Patrick. And so Dave left 30 minutes before me to go to the bar, and he was like, yeah, I got in, waited 10 minutes. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to moped up there. I'm not going to drink. I'm just going to watch the game with a cool atmosphere. Get there, the line is past 7-Eleven, which is like
Dang.
super long. And I talked to some people afterwards. They waited in line for 90 minutes during the game.
Whoa.
So I literally saw the line dipped out. Just mopeded back, watched it here. I wasn't even watching the entire game. I was just kind of come in here, work on some homework, do some whatever,
Sure.
go out there, watch the game. And then I was like, whoa, this is a really good game. And I was hooked. And we started watching it, kind of got towards the end. And we're all sitting around, myself, Brad, and Marco. And we're like, I feel like we should get drunk. And so one thing led to another. Marco and I were out on the porch shotgunning. I shotgunned a Truly.
Nice.
It exploded all in my face. And
Dang.
one of my cousins texted me, so you're burning couches yet? So it's like,
That's wild.
it was a Sunday. I had a lot to do. I emailed my professor, like, how much is this extra credit worth? Will I be able to pass? and,
That's so funny.
and then I just made the decision that, like, you know what? I need to go out and enjoy this college experience.
A full
Because, I mean, never again is the basketball team for the school that I go to going to the Final Four,
sure.
playing against Zion and Duke
That was
and
wild.
winning. And I will be the first person to say, I didn't think this Michigan State team was going to do anything
No.
outside of the first two rounds of the tournament.
Me either. I
And-
had them losing second round. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I honestly thought they might lose first round, but I'm so happy that they're doing well, and
No,
it's
cool.
really cool. And to beat that team with two first round, there was a statistic that I saw that was Zion and RJ Barrett were the first freshman duo to average 20 points, I think, of all time.
Jeez.
Yeah. So in order for the cameras to roll for more than 30 minutes, you have to pause them. So if there's a weird jump in the audio, it's because we got up and paused the cameras. So this is just a little commercial break, but back to it. All right, I'm going to... Actually, I want to talk to you about basketball.
Okay.
And I'm not... This is going further than just the intramural stuff. Tell me about your intramural season.
Just overall. Why are you asking this?
No. I'm just kind of segueing in so I can talk about something, if I'm being honest.
Well, we got to the finals basically, and we got dominated. It was no running clock, anything, but we lost by like 20. And we played on a bigger court than we played, and all of us
court
were
makes
so
such a difference.
Gassed.
The-
I'm bummed you guys didn't play on Breslin. That's God. I was
You're
really
preaching
bummed.
to the choir.
I was really bummed to see that. But no, we played on McGurk Arena. It was crazy. The game before us was the frat finals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not kidding. There was probably like 400 people there. It was insane.
Everyone leave for your game.
All and everybody left. There was probably like 20 after that. But yeah, it was,
Go Greek.
It was bad. It was just a very demotivating game, and we couldn't get within like 10, or we got within like 8 or 7 a couple times, and we just it was shitty. But go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Anyways, for my sixth story, no, I've been really, really enjoying basketball a lot recently. Obviously winning the championship didn't hurt.
Yeah.
But just even going to play pickup, and it's really weird because I'm starting to think about it more as like a intellectual game, and kind of like thinking about why I mess up, and just because I can't remember where this was happening, but just hearing some like talking about how like usually when you're thinking too much, that's not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking about that on the court is like, oh my gosh, that's all I do.
Yeah.
It's like, because right when I think, holy shit, I might miss this layup, what am I doing? Adjusting how I'm laying it in. And like I actually had this moment in the championship game where I got the ball at the 3-point line, and
championship game,
which we won.
Yeah.
Thank you. We actually have our banquet tomorrow night at 8. If you wouldn't mind staying and taking pictures,
that's really funny.
But no, I got the ball and like faked right, dribbled left, like did a move and like pulled up from just inside the 3-point line, contested jumper like off the dribble, switched it.
It's automatic.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like that is like so different than how I usually play, where it's just like trying to think about everything in my head.
I mean, think about like why people have shooting spots and shooting drills where you go to the top of the key, for 100 repetitions, you do a fake right, one dribble left shot. It's so that when you get the game, automatic. That you don't even consider thinking about it. It's just, this is how I've done it, and I don't even think, and I shoot that. And I mean, you just kind of told exactly what that was.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's a part of a lot of sports, I would say.
Yeah, no, I think it's a part of life, because when you're thinking too much, you're just getting... Because when you're thinking too much about the shot, it affects the shot. I just sent a spit rocket flying there. Yeah. But it's just weird, because I was definitely doing that, but I didn't even realize it was like affecting my game. Mm-hmm. And I also like, I played last weekend, and I would get the ball. I'm like, I'm gonna drive to the basket right now and shoot it regardless of what happens. And not every single time, like if I had an open lane, but like just having that mentality when I would dribble in is something I never have had. And just like we were talking about in book club, like applying things you learn from games or sports or whatever, and applying that to life.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool how we're at the point in our lives where we're in pretty much the best shape of our lives. Mm-hmm. Like physically, I mean, probably the next 2, 3, 4 years will you get even stronger and this, whatever. But we're kind of hitting our peak, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. I mean, you watch these professional athletes that are 18 and we're 22, and it's just, I don't know, it's a cool point.
Yeah, I think I could take Zion.
Yeah. I told you how I was been riding the Peloton. I haven't talked to you about it at all.
Yeah.
It is incredible. So to fill in the Peloton, it is a elliptical bike that you're doing. Is that the right term for it? It's just a bike.
A stationary
bike, not elliptical bike.
It's a bike cult.
So you have this huge screen in front of you, maybe like a 16-inch screen.
Is it that big?
It is big. Good speakers on it. It's a very stable bike. And I mean, my dad, he got me all set up. He measured my hip to how high to put the seat. And you put on bike shoes. It's the whole 9 yards, and you're connected to this bike. And so you start up, you have your own profile, you have all that stuff. People give you high fives during your bikes. But basically, you pick classes. You have
People give you high fives.
It's virtual.
Excuse me?
That was a weird laugh. It's all virtual, and so you go on and you go, okay, I'm gonna do a 20-minute ride, I'm gonna do a 30-minute ride, I'm gonna do a 45-minute ride. And so there's all these instructors that you can say, I'm gonna sign up at 6 a.m. and I'm signed up tomorrow at 6 a.m. I gotta show up for class. But basically, it's just in your basement, and you just log on. But
what if you don't show up?
I don't think anything happens.
There's got to be some penalty, it posts on your Facebook page, I'm a lazy bitch.
But anyways, I mean, you can go to classes that are literally live, and it's so impressive how good these instructors are. They are working just as hard as you are, but they're talking the entire time.
Yeah,
and I'm just, I can't even catch my breath. I did a high intensity interval one today, at HIIT, and I was dead. But all I'm saying is, it is like a really fun way to work out. I mean, one was like electronic and like hip hop one, and it's so cool because these electronic songs, you are biking exactly to the beats. And they pick the songs for those reasons. And I'm singing along. Spotify, you can connect your Spotify to the Peloton. You can add it right then. And so I'm just jamming to this beat and going to the... And so all I'm trying to get at is you work out for 45 minutes, 30 minutes. You can even do like arm weight workouts. And it is super enjoyable. And I think my 30-minute workouts, I burned around like 500, 550 calories. And then my 45-minute was like 750 calories. And sure, it's brutal. Do not get that twisted. But it's really fun.
Yeah, super low impact too.
Yeah. And I tell you, my ass is sore.
Really?
Yeah.
You on the gooey seats.
Yeah, maybe.
Do they ever have you stand up?
Mm-hmm. So that's what's cool. There's you do stand up, then back to sit down. I did one yesterday where it would be 8 seconds up, 8 seconds down, 8 seconds up, 8 seconds down. And it's just so much different muscles when you're up. And yeah, they do a really, really good job. I'm honestly so impressed by the instructors. It's sweet.
What's her name?
My favorite was it was Emma Lovewell. For those riders out there.
Ride on.
Yeah.
Speaking of virtual, what do you miss the most about video games?
I would say what video games have taught me most in life is that when you find an enemy, it means you're going the right way.
All right, this is over with. We're good.
Well, I still play No, I don't play that. No, I don't.
What do you miss most about RuneScape? Besides botting and cheating.
Well, like... I don't necessarily want to say for RuneScape, though, but I miss how good I was. No, what I'm getting at is... Like, I'll play, like, Call of Duty today, or I'll play... Maybe it's even... I don't know. I'll play Call of Duty, let's say. And I'm just not that good anymore.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to get at is, like, all I'm saying, I would dominate back in the day just because I put so much time into it. And when I pick up the sticks...
you're telling me.
When I pick up the sticks today, it's like, dang, I wish I had that talent. But also going on what I missed, back when we would play Xbox 360, like Modern Warfare 2, those games, when you would hop on after school, and you've got like 15 friends that literally you're just chatting with for the next 5 hours.
Yeah.
And just, I would say a lot of like the bonds that I made on Xbox. That was a cool part. And it's hard for me to say because I don't think I just don't want to talk to people like that on Xbox anymore. I would rather call them on the phone and do something different. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's tough to say what I miss. I don't think I could necessarily recreate what I miss.
That's it.
Yeah.
No.
How about you?
What do I miss the most? Yeah, just that like social connection. Especially because like I had so many like international friends, especially like when you guys were playing high school basketball and you weren't playing as much. I made a lot of friends that are in different corners of the world, and we would talk in Skype chats and everything. I mean, I would come home from school to 400 Skype messages. And it's like, I don't know. And you just learn so much about the world and other people and stuff like that.
And you still talk to these people, right?
Some of them,
to a degree.
yeah. But it's much more brief and not, like I said, those long conversations. Because, I mean, think about the amount of time that you and I spent talking on Xbox.
No, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was cool. I have another rapid fire question that I can't remember if I heard this or if I came up with it or what it was, but if you had to, and it's at this point today, like Josh, 22, hopefully getting an offer from Z-Bart, 6 or 7 figures to my understanding.
7. I love it. Oops.
Scrooge McDuck. And so if you had to write an I just forgot autobiography, what would the title be?
For my life thus far.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I thought this was a good question.
Yeah. That's tough. I don't know if I can answer that in a sitting. Do you have something that you thought about just to give me a little bit more time?
I thought of a few different ones. One that what was the one?
Please shut up.
No. Yeah. I can't remember what it was right now. But I don't know. I mean, you don't even have to answer it. It's just an interesting thing to think about. Maybe...
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Double pits to chesty. And I don't know why.
Well, dude, my legs are so sweaty right now. About 10 minutes into the podcast, I just did a crazy hand movement there. But your shirt, I was like, dude, that guy's gonna be so sweaty. So are you pitted out?
No.
That's good. I was just gonna.
Your titles?
No, it was something else after that I was just thinking.
No, that's something to consider though. I definitely I'll sit around for the next, I don't know, week or so and kind of, I'll text you back.
Yeah.
I'll think of something.
Yeah. Well, don't tell me, tell the fans. Mm-hmm. And actually, I do want to say something about the fans. It's like 140 something views on the previous episode of this podcast. And that's a lot of people.
It is.
I mean, it's not a lot compared to like the Joe Rogans of the world, but it's like, dude, if that kind of stresses me out.
That's funny.
Like,
no, it's a little bit of a responsibility. But that's after one episode. So, I don't know. It is what it is. I don't know I wouldn't say I'm necessarily stressed.
No, I'm just saying stressed out that this many people will hear that.
Oh, that's...
I don't feel like obligated.
That's what okay.
Yeah, no, I don't feel any sort of obligation. I just feel like, dang, that many people are listening to us. I mean, I guess I don't, some people might just click on, click off, but...
Yeah.
And a lot of people really like the video format.
Mm-hmm. It's 2019, baby. That's what people love.
It's 2019, but the vision's 2020.
I have a question. I considered this a month or so ago, and I think it's an interesting thing to look back every month of 2019. But if you were to say thus far, what's your biggest takeaway from the last now 4 months, or 3 months, not 4. 3 months of 2019 thus far, is there anything that you'd say, oh, I've definitely done this, or I've learned this thus far?
Yeah. Something to do with meditation. I don't exactly know what, but I was telling Brad the other day, or yesterday actually, the guided meditation was, he's like, hello and welcome to this day of whatever, and he goes, don't move. And you're not supposed to move for the entire 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And for me, dude, that was like, what? Because usually I do move around a little bit, just kind of readjust, and without doing that, it was so hard. And getting back more towards your question, it's just the thing that I've realized in the past 4 months is that I am so good at just ramping myself up and stressing myself out about the littlest random things and not even realizing it, and just kind of taking a step back, whether that's meditation or just kind of metaphorically, just looking at yourself in the mirror and going, dude, why am I'm running, I'm slamming on the gas pedal and the brakes right now, and my RPMs are just redlining. Why? You don't have to be like this. And yeah, that's probably what I've learned in the past 4 months is dude, just chill.
Work-life balance.
Not even that, just chill. But I mean, so much easier said than done.
Yeah. No, I like that.
What about you?
I think, my big takeaway, and I think part of this came when I left for Europe, when I studied abroad in Europe. A lot of my daily habits sort of got pushed to the side. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe it was me thinking culture shock and just wanting to, it kind of freaked me out being there and stuff along those lines. And when I got back this year, I assumed that, okay, I used to write in my journal daily. I assumed that I used to read a lot more. And I assumed that these things would just, boom, they would start again. And they didn't.
Yeah.
And I went through this weird period where I couldn't get consistent on anything. And I was getting so angry at myself that I can't feel, I can't do this, and I can't feel satisfied because I can't accomplish these things like I should, or I expect myself to.
Or you used to.
Or I used to. And so my biggest takeaway, and I've gotten a lot better the last month especially, is that habits are not easy to create. And they take a month to start to feel normal. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I would say is habits are not easy.
Yeah, and it's never ending because I've had that same experience where maybe at some point in the summer or just at any time.
Sure.
And you go like, especially maybe when I was in and out with meditation or just writing or anything, and you realize, oh my gosh, I haven't done that in 3 weeks.
Definitely.
Or I haven't woke up as early as I said I was going to in
Yeah.
this amount of time. And it's so much easier to fall off than it is to stay on track. And that overwhelms me.
Yeah.
But it's also like just more of a reason to not fall off. And like that's why I really like having that thing. As you can see, Sunday I was drunk.
That's funny.
But just having it visually right there where I'm kind of gonna shame myself if there's a bunch of red up there. And like looking up there at all those green little arrows that I have, I'm like, hell yeah, like I
Sure.
did everything I was supposed to do today, and that feels good. But no, I totally get that with the habits and stuff.
Yeah, it should be a good year though. It's been an exciting year already. It's been very intense and interesting and life-changing and altering.
Yeah.
It's curious because I mean, we're going to look back and say 2019 might have been personally thus far, 2019 might have been the most influential year of my life.
Interesting.
Just in the sense of there's been so many things that have happened and personally the last month that have completely changed how I thought my life was going to be or how my road was going to be.
Yeah.
And so we'll see.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, do you have anything else that you want to touch upon before
No,
we...
and I'm scared. I don't want to necessarily go too long and then we can't, I guess
End
we
it?
turn them on and out.
Yeah.
But
Should we just end it?
I'm good with that.